Good morning, everyone. May the good Lord bless you. Hope you're having yourself a wonderful day. I stopped right here on the trail, you guys, to cook some food. You can see that that fat wood that I found, you guys, is burning like a blowtorch, okay? That's what I started this fire with, along with some locust bark over there. That's what you seen me shaving that stuff with. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some snow here, and I'm gonna cook us some breakfast here on the trail, and we're gonna be cooking the mountain man way, okay? That's definitely one way of doing it, isn't it? So it shouldn't take that long to melt down, you guys. Right in the middle of the forest. All right, you all, what we're going to have this morning is a potato. We're going to have some hominy cakes that we're going to turn into a stew. You all saw me make that hominy the other day. I took the stuff and dried it out, and that's exactly what it looks like. It's just a very nice corn cake that you can carry with you, okay? But first, before we put that in there, you all, we're going to go ahead and cut this potato up. We'll let that cook first. Tell you one thing, that fire feels good this morning. All right. Now we're also going to have tripe, okay? How many of you folks know what tripe is? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you what tripe is. One thing about it, y'all, when you're cooking in the high wind, like I am today, that wind is just constantly changing. I'm down in between three little, well, not little hills, but big hills right here. You can see that the wind continues to change in different directions. So that makes a little bit, you're cooking just a little bit harder because you got to dodge the wind all the time. And if you're trying to film it, you got to move your camera as well. Now I used that big log right there, you guys, for a shield, a wind shield. But when the wind changes in the other direction, the smoke comes right back on you. But that's cooking really good. You can see my wood is damp, you guys. That's the reason it's smoking so bad. But, you know, that's just the way it is out here in the outdoors when you're cooking outdoors. You don't bring your wood with you. I found some stale bread, you all. Believe it or not, that was a delicacy for the mountain man. All right, you all, let's just add a couple of hominy cakes to that. Believe it or not, that right there is some nutritious food. Let's let that cook down just a couple of minutes because it won't take that stuff long to cook down. Now you all, this is tripe, okay? How many of you folks know what tripe is? Vienna sausages. What's in a Vienna sausage? Everything that's a leftover, okay? This right here is guts, ears, toes, nose, cartilage, you name it. It's in a can of Vienna sausages. So the next time you eat a can, imagine yourself, you're gobbling up a big old gut out of some animal. Whatever it was, hogs, cows, whatever they were killing. That's what a Vienna sausage is, guts. Everything that's left over. Now, folks, I can tell you right now, the wind is howling. And I've got this done. I tell you what, you can't beat that. Now, I'm eating some really good stuff right here, you guys. The bread my wife makes is homemade bread. It's sourdough bread. I hate to eat it in front of you, but hey, I've cooked it. I've got to eat it. Now, I've got the hominy right there. And I can tell you right now, it's really, really good. I appreciate all of your comments and likes and shares that you gave me on the hominy making video. I thought it was going to go viral. Right now, I think it's got over 20,000 views on it. And I really appreciate that, you guys. But when you watch mountain men on the television, it's really, they show you some really glamorous stuff where they're sitting around big old campfires and everything's cool and cool as a cucumber. But 99% of the time, that wasn't the case for real mountain men. They were out there in the wilderness, wherever they were, and whatever altitude they was, or whether it was snow on the ground or it was raining or whatever, or the Indians was after them. That would depend on how, you know, let's say, for instance, this cook fire right here got made. Now, I put this one out to keep the wind from blowing the smoke on me while I'm trying to eat and film at the same time. But if you read some of the history, real history of mountain men, you'll find out when things got poor, and I mean when they run out of the salted pork that they bought. Let me just say this: in the 1840s, the average barrel of pork cost you $15. I don't know how big the barrel was, but a barrel of pork cost 15 bucks. Okay, I don't know what it cost for a horse or an oxen or anything like that, but I was reading here the other day where the average barrel of salt pork, which is one of the things they would carry, was bacon, in other words, that was $15 a barrel. Well, you know good and well it's going to run out of that stuff in a year. They would eat all that stuff up. So they have been known to eat leather. They've been known to just cook harnesses and stuff like that to eat. Literally cook a harness to eat that leather. One of the delicacies that the mountain man would eat, you guys, is stuffed gut. They would take the gut of a buffalo or a deer, either one, elk. They'd clean that thing out, and they would stuff it with all kind of different things like apples and herbs, all the wild onions, things like that they could find. They're growing in the mountains that would grow all winter long. They would stuff those guts, tie them up and cut them up and then roast them over the fire, and that was actually a nutritious mountain man delicacy. That's what they used to do. They used to take the gut of the animal. So when you're eating a weenie, some of them are wrapped in guts, okay? Like this stuff right here, these are guts. I eat guts. I like them. Now that piece of bread that I cooked down in there, you all, it basically turned into a wet dumpling. That's what it looks like right there. Mucho good. And there's the potatoes. Now what I done was I cooked this down though there was not even that much water left in it, okay? It was commencing to fry by the time I took it off that fire over there. Hey, I'm full as a tick, you guys. My daddy always said, man, I'm full as a tick. So that was really a good meal. Potatoes, tripe, stale bread, and hominy cakes. And I'm about to burp. Anyway, you guys, the glamorous life of a mountain man. This is what it looks like. This is not the movies, okay? This is the real way they lived. It could, if he was out there alone, which most of the time mountain men were not alone by themselves, although popular belief says that they were. Lots of times, if they went out on by themselves and tried to live and escape the Indians, which was one of the, the things that would, happen to them, lots of times they just didn't survive that. More mountain men got scalped that went out and tried to do it by themselves than they did if they just didn't survive, okay? So they went out in parties of 30 and 40, sometimes 100 men. And then they would go off and run their trap line and bring that stuff back. So you can imagine running a trap line in the Rocky Mountains. Now, I've never trapped in the Rocky Mountains, but I did have the pleasure. My son took me to the Rocky Mountains when I was out west. I got to go up into the Colorado Rockies and up into the Rockies and down there in New Mexico. Very, very different scene from where I am right here. The snow cap was on the mountains all the time back there in the higher elevations. The altitudes would literally kill you if you wasn't used to it. So you had to become immaculated, I think that's the right word, to the higher altitudes, because I'm sitting right here at 4,000 feet at this particular altitude. But anyway, you guys, I just wanted to do this little cooking video this morning. Sorry I didn't have no hot sauce in there. I think I left it sitting on the last place I cooked back on the other side of the mountain. I'm pretty sure that I left a bottle of hot sauce sitting there, but don't worry, I got plenty of it. Not to worry. Anyway, you guys, may the good Lord bless you today. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching.